Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Welcome to the Buddha Dharma TV Dhammapada program. Today we are going to discuss verse number 97. And first of all, I want to thank you for coming to listen to this Dhamma talk. The 97th verse begins with asaddho akatanyucha sandicchedocha yonaro atavakaso vantaso save uttama puriso. The literal meaning is he has no faith in anyone but in himself. He is aware of deathlessness, the unconditioned. He is a breaker of connections because he has severed all his worldly links. He has destroyed all the opportunities for rebirth. He has given up all desires. Because of all these, he, the Arhat, is a truly noble person. This is the brief meaning of this verse. This happened, there were some 30 forest dwellers approached the Buddha and paid their obeisance to him and sat down. The Buddha, seeing that they possessed the requisite faculties for attaining arahantship, that means Buddha could see that they are capable of realizing the Dhamma. He addressed Venerable Sariputta. Sariputta, do you believe that the quality of faith, when it has been developed and enlarged, is connected with the deathlessness and terminates in the deathless? In this manner, the Buddha questioned the Venerable with reference to the 5 moral qualities. 5 moral qualities. The Venerable Sariputta answered, I do not go by faith in the Buddha in this matter, that the quality of faith, when it has been developed and enlarged, is connected with the deathless and terminates in the deathless. But of course, Venerable, those who have not known the deathless, or seen or perceived or realized or grasped the deathless by the power of reason, such a person must of necessity go by the faith of others in this matter. Namely, that the faculty of faith, when it has been developed, faculty of faith, saddha, when it has been developed and enlarged, is connected with the deathless and terminates in the deathless. Thus did the Venerable answer his question, Buddha's question. When the monks heard this, those who were there, they began a discussion. Venerable Sariputta has never really given up false views. Even today, he refused to believe even the supremely enlightened one. When the Buddha heard this, Buddha said, monks, why do you say this? Why do you say this? For I asked Sariputta the following question: Sariputta, do you believe that without developing the 5 moral qualities, without developing tranquility and spiritual insight, it is possible for a man to realize the paths and fruits? And he answered me as follows. Asked me as follows. That means there is no one who can thus realize the paths and the fruits. Then I asked him, do you not believe that there is such a thing as the ripening of the fruits of almsgiving and good works? Do you not believe in the virtues of Buddhas and the rest? But as a matter of fact, Sariputta walks not by the faith of others, for the reason that he has, in and by himself, attained states of mind to which the paths and the fruits lead by the power of spiritual insight, induced by ecstatic meditation. Therefore, he is not open to censor. He is not open to censor. He has no faith in anyone but in himself. He is aware of deathlessness, the unconditioned. Deathlessness, it means the unconditioned. He is a breaker of connections because he has severed all his worldly links. He has destroyed all the opportunities for rebirth. He has given up all desires. Because of all these, he, the Arhat, is truly a noble person. Here in this verse, that there are 2 words to be explained. Asaddho, non-believer. He so firmly believes his own view and that of the Buddha, he does not need to believe in any other. Akatanyu, literally ungrateful. But in this context, aware of the unconditioned, that is Nibbana. Aware of unconditioned, the Nibbana, final emancipation. Sandicchedo. Sandicchedo is the term usually given to a burglar because he breaks into houses, but here it signifies severing all world connections. Then Hatavakasu, a person who has given up all opportunities. But here it is meant having given up opportunities for rebirth. There's no chance for whatsoever for rebirth. That is the Hatavakasu means. All the expressions in this stanza can be interpreted as applying to persons who are not noble, but to depraved persons. But the interpretation of those forms to give positive, spiritually wholesome meanings and not negative ones is quite intriguing. In other words, the Buddha has in this stanza used a set of expressions used in general parlance to denote people of mean behavior. But due to the implications attributed to them by the Buddha, these depraved terms acquire a high significance. High significance. So, this verse is also connected to the next verse, that is number 98. That is, Gameva yadiva aranye, Ninneva yadiva thale, Yatta rathanto veranti, Tam bhumin ramaniyakam. Tam bhumin ramaniyakam. That is, the literal meaning is, whether in the village, in the forest, or in the valley, or in the plain, wherever arhats, notable saints, dwell, that place is alluring in the extremes. In the extremes. So the arhat, the term, the noble ones, evolved ones, arhat, the noble ones, the evolved ones, they are also described as Arya Puggala, noble ones. Arya Puggala are those who have realized one of the 8 stages of holiness, the 4 supermundane paths, Magga, and the 4 supermundane fruitions, Phala, of these paths. There are 4 pairs. The one realizing the path of stream winning, the one realizing the fruition of stream winning. That's the first pair. Then the one realizing the path of one's return, the one realizing the fruition of one's return. That the one realizing the path of non-return, the one realizing the fruition of non-return, path and fruition. The one realizing the path of holiness, the one realizing the fruition of holiness. That can be summed up. There are 4 noble individuals, the stream winner, the once returner, the non-returner, the holy ones. In some texts, Gotrabhu is listed as the 9th noble individual. According to the Abhidhamma, supermundane path, or simply path, Magga, is a designation of the moment of entering into one of the 4 stages of holiness. Nibbana being the object produced by intuitional insight into the impermanence, misery, and impersonality of existence, flashing forth and transforming one's life and nature. By fruitions are meant those moments of consciousness which follow immediately thereafter as a result of the path, and which in certain circumstances may repeat for innumerable times during lifetimes. So, we have already discussed paths and the fruition, and who are the arhats, what qualities they possess, what they have dropped, eliminated, how they transform into the highest level of spirituality. In previous verses, 96, 97, 98, all we have discussed. So you can go back to and see them. These are the detailed explanation about the Aranship that we have discussed lately. May you all be well and happy.